Hi, I'm Stephanie Brown, the founder and principal of Stephanie Brown Inc. We are a high-end residential design firm located in Vancouver, Canada, and we work on really exciting projects from coast to coast. Growing up, I was always really creative. I loved using my imagination. That was huge for me. I grew up in a really small town, very, very small, like a village, and there was no access to interior design, but my mom did get, Better Homes and Gardens, Martha Stewart, magazines like that, which I kind of digested and, delved into as much as I could. And then when I was about 9, my parents started to build a house on an acreage outside of our town. And at that point, we're in a small town, there's no architects, so they had books of plans, and I loved flipping through all the house plans. I could literally visualize what the house would look and feel like from the plans, and I started making corrections and changes to these random plans, and even imagining my friends' homes and how I would renovate them and stuff. So it definitely blossomed naturally into a huge interest of mine. And so by the time I was in high school, it felt like a really clear and focused path I was on to then go to college for design. I ended up moving to Vancouver on the west coast of Canada in 2012. And when I started my own firm, it was just me. And now there are currently 4 of us, designers and admin staff, additionally. And we're a small but mighty firm. And the biggest challenge I find is growing the team. And it's really about finding the perfect fit of people. I mean, you're basically building a very long-term relationship with your staff. It goes so much further than just finding designers with great skills or great taste. In the high-end residential sector, there's so much more that comes along with it in terms of the customer service element. You have to have the right mindset in terms of being very determined, motivated to not necessarily being a perfectionist, but having a great level of accountability, being extremely transparent, being very collaborative, and just troubleshooting in a super constructive way. We all make mistakes, but at a certain level of design, it's so much is about preventing those, and also just management, client management, making sure they feel well taken care of. If any hiccups do occur, that they really love how we responded to it and corrected it. We are based in Vancouver, Canada, but over time, mainly through referrals, our network of clients has grown, and we definitely have American clients. And, I don't like to get political or anything, but just simple geography and the political landscape these days is having an impact on how we source things, not how we design, but how we source. So if we have a project that's in the States, we're gonna try and find local makers that are there. And then the same for our projects that are here in Canada. There's a greater push and emphasis now on working with local makers, sourcing Canadian. Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, it's a great thing. We've always tried to do it anyway, but it's just a little bit more coming to the forefront due to a more financial reason on top of, just the whole shop local movement. Our firm has kind of developed a certain niche, which is really doing vacation homes a lot. It's actually, I think it started during COVID, a little earlier, but then it really got enhanced during COVID, where people were no longer able to do these dream vacations. They weren't traveling much. And we just had kind of one after the other of, and I'm not talking quick projects. These are we're very long-term projects of, building like a beautiful home on the rugged coast of British Columbia or in the Okanagan, which is kind of like our Napa Valley. And we do a lot of projects in Hawaii and some in California, the desert, Palm Springs, etc. And even right now, for a couple of years, we've been working on a really exciting project down in the Bahamas. So yeah, it's super exciting. And I think it's evolved mainly through referrals. A lot of people wonder, how do you get these projects all over the place? And well, the luxury clientele, they have vacation homes. So I can probably attribute it to one client who we did their vacation home in Hawaii, talked to people they know, their friends. Now we're doing theirs. That friend is from LA. We do their house there. Then we do another vacation home for them somewhere else. So it's really evolved organically. And I think the ongoing nature of us really working in this niche just speaks to how organized we are. When you're working on a project that's under construction in the middle of the ocean or in the middle of the Caribbean, you have to be really organized. Your drawing set has to be so dialed in, your specs have to be complete. You can't just zip over to site and troubleshoot an area that you didn't think through. Luxury design, I feel, and it might just be based on where I'm located on the West Coast, but people are very down to earth. I laugh every time I meet a new client thinking, okay, I need to dress up. Let's bring our A game. And then you meet them and they're in their athleisure wear every time. It might be a Vancouver thing or a West Coast thing, but people are incredibly casual. And that does come through in West Coast interiors too. They're very relaxed, livable. So luxury means something a bit different here, I find, than the East Coast, in that it's about not glitz and glam. That isn't luxury. It's more so quality. The chairs are made from solid oak sourced, in Quebec or something like that, versus look at this silk velvet and emerald green that's on them. And that's not luxury here. Luxury means something a little bit more natural, more quality based. And that resonates with me. We're modern, minimalist oriented designers. So that kind of speaks to our taste as well. I'm a total nerd. I'm a homebody. I'm a nerd. I love nothing more than a quiet night by myself, curling up with a great book. I love to read. An amazing vacation would be just being able to digest a couple of books.